Send it to YouTube. All right. Hello and welcome everybody to VEX Warfield. I am VEX Warfield, your host. And I had a bunch of different ideas for starting the show tonight. But I couldn't really decide. I couldn't wrangle a guest. So I thought I'd just, I don't know, let a bunch of friends come up and we'll just talk about whatever comes up. Let's hang out again tonight. Let's see what happens. Give me just a few minutes. I'm going to start throwing people up on the panel. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to be throwing in some links so that everybody's getting notified, as much as can be notified anyway. Hello, God's Night. Callie, welcome. Scrimshaw, excellent. Good to see you. And we'll switch back over here. And we're going to go ahead and add up Scrimshaw and Callie, the dandy. Hello, Panther. Welcome.
Hello, everybody.
Yes, she makes her voice known. All right.
It's howdy doody time.
There it is.
Hello.
Hi, Miss Red Badger. All right, I am going to start throwing links around and get this party started. Don't forget to say woohoo.
Woohoo!
Thank you.
Went to the wrong place.
I have to say hooty hoo, hooty hoo.
All right. Let's see. What were some of the things we were kicking around as about talking about what we're going to talk about?
I'm
trying to get you guys to start. I'm trying to get you guys to start talking so I can
God's Night
throw some links around.
I need an adult. I am lost. Sorry. That's just a riot. I don't know. We were talking about the VEX thing, the VEX thing, and the nose knob thing, and the electrical.
Are you just putting words together?
Yes. The electrical connection between that and Bluetooth.
Talking about the dangers of the frequencies being transmitted through our brains that cause cancer.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, we can start off heavy. All right.
Or we were talking about dogs and chicks.
Yeah.
And Lyme disease.
We could do a bunch of, we could all talk about our pets and talk about how much they hate, us de-ticking them.
I don't know.
Well, I can already go into the. Everybody has pretty much started using Bluetooth and wireless systems. A lot of things about them are, it's just the same way as using cell phones, except you're sticking the signal inside your ear. For like wireless earbuds.
Yeah.
And so, just in case you, can't keep up, microwaves cook meat. Now granted it's a small signal, but continuous use will cause stuff like tumors. Just cancer in general.
Yep, and that's how come the microwave still says, don't stand too close when in operation, and how come your cell phone's, safety handbook tells you not to hold it up to your head. It says to keep it a few inches from your head. You know,
I mean,
women who used to carry their cell phone in their bra have a higher propensity. I'm not kidding. Like it's kind of like, I don't know, like a little pocket right there. You could stick your phone in it. The strap helps hold it in, you know, and you need a free hand in a split second. It's just a convenient place. It's like the Italian bank, right? Thanks. Used to
I
say
used to
that.
do that too.
Yeah.
And
But
sometimes I carry some money down there, but it's not
yeah.
good to do that. I went to like, I don't know, Dunkin' Donuts drive-in and I pulled out some money from there and I think I freaked people out. And
hey, Dalek.
it's not good if it's hot, because if it's hot, man, your money gets wet.
Right. Yeah. It gets sweaty.
So
That's
it's not a
gross.
good idea to keep your money there. I
Yeah.
used to carry my phone there sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, women who did that, pretty consistently, because women they'll like work out or whatever. That's just literally where they hold their phone. Some women, and whichever side they hold their phone on, they have a higher propensity for breast cancer in
Yeah,
that breast.
exactly.
Wow, almost like it
Yeah.
makes sense.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, go figure.
I mean, 2 plus 2 can't be 4.
I don't.
No, it's 17.
Yeah, and it takes you a half hour to figure that out.
Yeah, sweaty money.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
freak.
I would rather a chick pull out sweaty money and go with like boob sweat than I do a guy like who would come in, and pull out money like from his, biker shorts or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
God.
I mean, if I have to choose,
Jeez. I don't know.
okay, you got any grapes?
Yeah.
It reminds me of that old movie, CB4.
Where's the
Anybody know
grapes?
that one? Sweat from my
CB4?
balls.
I never
Yeah,
saw that.
yeah. It was one of those funny movies about a rapper getting famous. It was right around or right after the whole '80s mess up with controversial lyrics and all that stuff. So they came out with the movie. Basically, I forget who was it? Damn, I'll remember in a minute. But yeah, it was basically a comedian playing a rapper that, basically the whole big controversy was, saying sweat from my balls. Because in the '80s, the whole thing was, like groups like NWA and stuff like that, or like fuck the police and shit like that. So they made a parody movie kind of about that, and it
Oh,
was sweat from your balls. He wasn't supposed to say that.
oh. Mrs. Red Badger says she doesn't remember the 80s. I
I
can
do.
relate to part of that.
I do, and
Oh,
you're not missing much. The '80s was a weird time,
mm-hmm.
a time of almost innocence, a time of trying new things and regretting it the next minute.
Talik, that's exactly what I was thinking about. That's South Park songs.
So chill.
I think
So,
everybody had regrets from the 80s.
oh yeah. Well, '80s was fun, but
Yeah,
I don't know. I was clueless to the political structure during the '80s just because of all the shiny stuff that was everywhere.
yeah.
Squirrel moments left and right. Too worried about getting a date than worrying about what the hell the politicians were doing.
The 70s and the 80s were too much fun. I had too much fun.
Yeah, I grew up in the 70s, but lived through the 80s.
Yeah, that's true, Delete. Excuse me.
Dr. Falsey.
Callie. She must be muted.
Yep.
Come back, Callie. Callie, come back.
Well, let's see. Now, everybody tell me your favorite dog's name. Put it in chat. Do it. Doesn't have to be your dog.
I'm not answering that security question.
I
That was good. Come on, tell me your passwords.
That's funny shit. But I mean, like, isn't that sad that that's like, if somebody asks me that, that's the first fucking place that my brain goes to. It's like, that's a security question. I'm not answering that.
That's funny.
It's pretty sad. It really is. Pretty sad.
But what are you gonna do? Oh, that's one thing. Squirrel moment. Israel. What do you think? Tell me what your thoughts are on it. Just surface thoughts, if nothing else.
Surface thoughts on Israel?
Mm-hmm. And the whole thing going on over there?
Well, I think that over time, Israel has reached out to Palestine to offer them a two-state solution, and every single time, Palestine has slapped their fucking hand. And nothing is ever going to be good enough for them, except for total control over the whole entire fucking region. So how are you supposed to negotiate with that, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point in itself. How are you supposed to negotiate with anybody that doesn't want to negotiate?
Yeah, how do you do that?
Yeah.
There is no negotiating with somebody who doesn't want to come to the fucking table and actually make a compromise.
Yeah.
You know?
You have to go into aggressive negotiations.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much what they're in right now, right?
Exactly.
And as far as like who fired on who first, like I don't really know. You know?
Well, from my understanding of it, and I've been told I was right, but still don't know if I haven't read it myself. But from what I understand, Israel basically bluffed them into getting into their positions, and then they dropped a bunch of bombs on them.
That's pretty much how, you know, I see it too. But there are some accounts of, you know, out there saying that Palestine fired on Israel first.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, they've been attacking. I don't think they've stopped. So
right,
yeah.
But the narrative, right? The narrative, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, of course, but the narrative is that Israel fired pretty much unprovoked in fucking Palestine.
To tell you the truth, I don't know how it could be unprovoked.
I don't know. The only thing that I thought of is here we go again. Here we go again.
Well, that's kind of my point. I mean, this is not something that has been not happening. I mean, this is kind of something that's always been happening. It just kind of went loud. I mean, Israel's been doing shit to them, of course, and Palestine's been doing shit to Israel. So, I mean, they just got loud because they know they could because the potato's in office. I don't know why I like calling him a potato so much.
He's the potatoes.
The potatoes.
The mashed potatoes.
The mashed potato and chef.
Well, that's what his brains must look like pretty soon. Mashed potatoes. Oh,
Dalek, are you talking about mashed potatoes?
he's talking about the Palestinians.
Sorry, I was making a bad joke. A real bad one.
Well, would you want to have mashed potatoes in your back pocket?
No,
Not at all.
not at all. Yeah, you made that point right there. Follow the money. Everybody's been screaming about the money trail.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think I got it jumbled up in my head a little bit, but we gave Dome to Israel and then told them it was bad that they used it to defend themselves from people attacking them with missiles that they bought through someone else that got the money from someone else.
From us.
Yeah, that's the one I was missing.
Isn't it funny how we start, funding Hamas again, and all of a sudden Hamas is, I don't know, striking Israel. Isn't that funny how that happens?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, weird.
That's
Never
just
thought
like
that it would happen.
totally coincidence. Like, it's just,
Amazing. It's just amazing. I mean, the spin doctors in the media can make anything happen, and it's their job to do so. So, what would you do if it was your job in media to convince the massive population that something needs to be done? Oh, say like, everybody needs to get vaccinated. Well, you take over Hollywood and you turn the whole damn Washington, D.C. territory there into a small Hollywood for, idiots. Hey, Patriot, welcome. And then you bring in a bunch of hand-selected troops to guard it, and then you put on the show of a lifetime, political theater at its best, straight from Hollywood. I mean, best special effects money can buy.
This is, dude, some of their special effects people need to be fired. I'm just saying.
Well, we've discussed the fact how sloppy these bastards are in the first place. They can't do anything, without basically leaving holes and gaps in it because they're just so damn stupid. So they had to basically go more Hollywood and, big old effects budgets and stuff like that. And they cut corners then too.
This is the, highest production occupation. I can't even call it an administration. Occupation of the White House ever.
Mm-hmm.
The most highly produced. That's for damn sure.
That's for sure. I mean, what Dalek was saying about following the money with Palestine and Israel. Well, you could just follow the money as far as that goes too. I mean, there's all kinds of money just shaking all over the place, and man, it's shaking so much, man, they have to print more.
I mean, essentially, when it all boils down, nothing comes out of Hollywood that isn't CIA approved.
Maybe.
Oh, CIA is in charge of Hollywood. Well, actually, as long as China says it's okay. Because, China, they run that shit. China #1. Just ask them. They'll tell you.
So learn Russian to spite China, okay? That's all I got to say about that.
China. That was Russian. A bunch of Russian cuss words.
I don't know.
You're going to have to teach me Russian cuss words, Betsy.
All right, sound off after me. Draket tipia.
Graket.
Tibia.
Yeah.
Excellent. You just said fuck you.
Oh no.
Oh yay. You should seriously send me the spelling and everything, you know what I'm saying?
Draket.
That's not something Duolingo teaches you.
Draketibia tiraksuka. It's basically fuck you, you stupid bitch. To put it, short.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Tibia.
T Tiraksuka.
Tigaraksuka.
Yeah, it's Durock. Like Duramax, but cut off the max. Max. It's just Durock. It's almost like rolling your tongue with it. Durock. Yeah.
Durock.
Yeah. Trakatibia Tidurock Suka. Suka is the bitch word.
I ain't saying that.
Just imagine rattling that off at somebody in a live stream or something like that, and they're like, "What? What?"
Nobody would know what you were saying.
It took me about a week to learn how to say that.
I worked with someone that was Georgian, and we were teaching each other swear words one time. Funny.
It's always the first thing people learn.
Yeah.
As I was working at a hotel, and we had basically these 3 Russian dudes and a couple of Russian chicks, basically some sort of work exchange type of thing going on. So they're working at the hotel with us, and it's my job to teach them what to do and stuff like that. And I'd always hear them going, what word was it they were saying? Yushkovno, suka, something else. But it was basically them just bitching at each other, going, "You're stupid," and stuff like that. And I was like, "What are you saying?" And he just pointed at the guy and go, "Suka." And that's basically how I started to learn Russian.
Oh. That's funny.
Because he was basically calling his friend a bitch. His friend was standing there going, "No, him suka."
You're a bitch. No, you're a bitch. No, you're a bitch.
Exactly. And then one of the girls walked by, and she just stopped and looked at him, and like, "I can't believe you guys are saying that." And they both looked at her and pointed at her and said, "Suka."
Jeez.
God.
And I was like, "Okay, I think I understand. Please stop calling everybody a bitch." Well, yeah, they'd be moving some of the banquet equipment around and stuff like that. One of them smashed their finger or something like that. And oh, Diraka, suka. I'm like, oh, he's cussing.
Oh
You should
no.
probably said, son of a bitch.
Basically something like that, but they have different sayings in Russia, so it's actually a different translation. It's yeah. I can't remember what they had a translation for something. Man, why is it I always want to bring up something like that and I can't remember it? It's been a long time ago.
Well, the lady that was Georgian that I worked with, I don't know, it sounded more to me like she was speaking Yiddish, because she taught me the phrase "Kusamir meine tuka," which means "kiss my butt."
I was
Hey,
just
I
gonna
like
say it
that.
sounds like kiss my ass.
Yep.
You even said it on the right inflection, the same way we would as Americans say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, other languages are fun. I like hearing people with accents talk.
And then the only Chinese word I know, well, I know 2 Chinese phrases. One was moto, because my best friend was Chinese when I was younger. And his father would always say, moto, moto. And that meant shut up. And then he'd say, cowboy. It's bad boy. Cowboy.
Miss Red
Cowdoy.
Miss Red Badger, it was a banquet.
Bangkok banquet.
Yeah, she was asking which one. And God's Night came up with that one.
Okay.
This one time in Bangkok. So there it was, in the Congo. Nobody knows that commercial? Okay.
No, because I don't watch TV.
Oh, it's an old one.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I don't even remember what type of commercial it was. I think it was a beer commercial or something like that.
Must have been a regional thing.
Maybe.
Sounds like it.
All kinds of weird, useless information in my brain.
My brain discards a lot of that shit. It does.
Yeah,
and
I wasn't
doesn't want to file it.
My brain wasn't as organized as it is now. There's lots of mess behind straightened up. It's like a cleaned up room, but everything was shoved into the closet.
Whoa, Vexy was in the closet. What?
No.
Sorry.
My closet. My closet's
I think I
small.
had like a delay or something like that, and I'm sorry. That's what I heard.
No, I was looking at what God's Night just said. Oh my God. In chat. Oh no.
The entire forest shook.
Oh, God.
God's Night is writing his romance novel again, I see.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see that cover photo.
Oh God.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and open it up to the rest of the room. I'm going to throw out the StreamYard link. So if you'd like to come up here and join us and kick back and have some fun with us, then bring it.
I think I'm going to jump off, Vexy, and let somebody come on. Oops.
I won't hold you hostage.
Okay.
All right. Link is in. And thank you once again, Scrimshaw, for coming up and hanging with me. Appreciate that, as always. And Callie's on mute.
Sorry, I'm being noisy. So I don't want to disturb.
Yeah, because that would be real bad disruption.
Right.
Hey, Sean.
Hi, Striker. Get your butt up here and tell us what's going on.
Yeah, we need some Machine Gun Sean in this stream. Bring it on up. StreamYard links there. And here he is.
I've been kind of staying away from what the fuck is going on, like all the minutia that's going on in the world right now. Like I don't really know.
Well, we know
the day-to-day stuff. I've been in and out for the last week, so I just have other shit to do.
Hey guys, I got something here. Just hold on for a second. I got to queue it up. I actually have the phone attached into the desktop right now, so I'm multitasking. I saw you guys were on and Pro Life American were on, so I said I'm going to say hello to Vex first and drop in. And yes, I do got a little bit of a news report. I just have to I got to queue it up on my screen here so I can read it to you guys, so you can get the
give us a preview.
Well, the preview is going to be an audio file here in a second. I just got to get my stereo speakers to work, and that's I'm trying something different out here with my whole setup.
Who will we be hearing?
It's this one band with kind of a punk riff. I think you'll enjoy them because I definitely enjoyed them at the time. that they put out their top 10 hit. It was a very viral song on the internet. A lot of people enjoyed it. I think once we get it fed here, let's
Am I
see
gonna get
here.
copyright striked?
No, you won't, because the people who made it are people that online the YouTube crowd doesn't like these people anyway, so they limited the shares of this music video to all of 5,762 views, despite the channel itself having 708 subscribers or
Okay,
subscribers,
well,
excuse
who
me.
is it?
Well, we got to have some fun with some mystery. I got the circle spinning on the screen right now as the audio
Oh,
loads. So,
Lord.
well,
He's
you
doing
know
a
how
build
that
up,
goes.
Callie.
Yes, I'm tickling you with a feather, as they say, except not that type of feather.
In these instances, there's no feather involved. I'm sorry.
Well, let's just say I'm being as gentle as I can. Let's see. I think this will work here. Got to click here. I'm
I
also
find
trying
that in
to
these
work on my own video stuff.
instances,
Here
the
we go.
more the build up, the bigger the letdown. I'm sorry.
Such cynic. Oh, I recognize him.
Yes. What came
I
out
can't
today,
even hear
folks?
it.
Have
It's
you been to the
cutting out.
national file? Well, I
Something.
purposely cut it out because you saw the national file today, right?
Nope, I haven't.
Okay.
I just got
The
off
boys
work.
over there are. Oh, then I guess I am giving you guys breaking news from earlier today. National File is covering this. They, of course, are covering, another source, but I'll just pop it in a different tab, read it off to you, because yes, it is related to my icon. Oh wait, I don't have that icon in my thing anymore.
I'm
Anyway,
Mrs.
I think
Fenton.
I think
May
I found
21st.
something.
Breaking: Epstein's cell guards admit to falsifying records, cut deal to avoid jail.
Yeah, I
Yes.
already knew that.
Well, we all knew it as a
Like
hunch
months
and
ago,
a good
months
educated
ago.
guess.
Whenever I
As
see
of
shit like
today,
that,
yeah.
I'm like, oh, thanks for catching up, lamestream media. Like seriously.
Seriously, didn't that go down
Well,
like
here's the thing now.
6 months ago? 7, 8?
I mean,
Oh,
just
this
go
is
read some
the
fucking
prison.
All
transcripts,
right, all
people.
right,
Okay,
all
like
right, all right,
seriously,
all
man.
right, all right. We all know this.
The,
And we all know, and we've all
yes,
I'm
been
the prison
sorry, I'm
guard
so
appraised of
process
it.
monitor.
frustrated
But
with the
but
media.
but
Like,
the
and
difference
everybody was
is,
calling me fucking crazy, like, for months, and then it's like, oh, well,
You're
okay,
fucking
I was saying
crazy.
this shit for fucking months and months, and nobody wanted to listen because, I'm just crazy. Just go put my tinfoil hat back on. Sure.
well, the difference is
Take a
that
breath.
they're actually starting to talk about it into the mainstream area now. So that's kind of a
Yeah,
victory.
not
Yeah,
really.
Associated Press is covering it.
How is
I
it a
mean,
As
victory?
I'm
I,
I'm grateful
I
it's
think
coming
it's
into the
called.
main,
I think
but it
it's
should
called
have been done at the time.
redirection.
Exactly. They're
you
using
ladies are
shit
talking
when they
over each
need it
other.
to their fucking advantage to manipulate the fucking people instead of putting the information out in a timely, responsible fucking manner like they should be. So they can all go fuck themselves.
Well, here's the question. Now that we know that Tova Noel and Michael Thomas are the two guards in question, how long before they're doxxed and they get a bad case of lead poisoning? Also, what's going on in Arizona? Since they're making this the news, what are we missing in Arizona? What are they hiding to let this slip out and have Associated Press covering it? What's the other story they don't want us to look at? That's what I'm wondering.
Well,
Look
I'm
here,
not
not
worried
there.
about it. I'm watching it all burn down. It's like,
Well, I do know that they
Well,
have requested, that they turn over all documents regarding the deleted election database directory.
mhm,
So, I mean, that's where that's at pretty much.
Yeah, if they're trying to take the 45 base and take our attention away from the election, interesting scenario situation, not quite true, and turning
I'm
that big
not
word into a
distracted.
5-letter word. Well, that's the thing, is they're trying to divert us. Now, this
I mean,
also, remember, Chelsea Clinton worked for Daily Beast. Daily Beast is now claiming that Gates told board members at Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation his friendship with Epstein was just motivated by the hope that Epstein would facilitate a Nobel Prize for the Microsoft founder. So apparently Epstein had these ties that he could mess with the Nobel Committee, if that's what Bill Gates believed. Yeah, so that's
Lord.
this stuff, of course, we know, but the issue is, why are they covering it, and why is Daily Beast acting as the mouthpiece? That's Chelsea and
What's
the rest of
new
that
with the
family.
Daily Beast? The Daily Beast has been a mouthpiece forever. I mean, that's nothing new. Yeah. They're just throwing out cover. They're throwing out cover. They want to change the direction of the conversation. It's like Joe Scarborough going off today or yesterday with his big freak out.
He can go and
because
fuck
suddenly
himself
he's like the most patriotic motherfucker on the face of the planet. I mean, come on, Joe Scarborough. You had a dead intern in your office. Get the fuck over yourself. I mean, he's married to, what's her name? Mika Berej, whatever her name is. I mean, look at her father. Look at her father.
Yep.
So she's like
Miss Mika,
MK
who was up
Ultra
there
baby from the get-go.
Exactly. She was up there just a few months ago, literally telling people that they can't think for themselves. Like, we're here to tell people what's what. They can't go and find information.
They're freaking out totally because they can't change the conversation. And even with all the thumbs on our necks and on our hearts and souls, we still ignore them, and they're really pissed. And it's like technical difficulty for real.
2 low-hanging prison guards are copying a deal. They get in this deal. What are the prison guards giving up in exchange for the deal? Because they're going to be like, hey, I got to protect my 6. How do I know they're not going to kill me? They got to have something good as their insurance policy.
They were involved from the get-go. They are insequential. I mean, literally. They play no part in any of this. They're not important to us. They are like all they are is entertainment. They literally
we are not.
If the guy got killed in prison, no one's gonna believe that 2 prison guards. Listen, I worked in max security. There's no way that in a max facility both cameras are off and 2 guards are asleep or going shopping or whatever the fuck their story was. We all know that Barr was corrupt. So every story that came from Barr, which is this one, we know is compromised. So we move on. If he's dead, he's dead. If he's not, he's not. He's living somewhere in New Zealand. It doesn't matter. I mean, I'm not putting down that information, but that's just like filler on a page. We are so way past that. We are like leagues past what happened with Epstein. I could give a rat's ass at this point. The whole Giselle Maxwell, watching the people on the right go, oh, we're going to get her. We're going to get her. What a bunch of hogwash. That was just fodder for people that will eat that pile. Literally a shit burger. Nobody cares about Ghislaine Maxwell. Nobody cares because we all know when it comes down to the brass tacks of everything we saw there, all it was CIA playing CIA games. That's all it was. Yeah. It might have been MI6 or some Australians, but it's inconsequential to the game at this point.
Yep. It is a very, very tiny, minute piece.
Go ahead, Striker.
If I may, for a third time, what would lowly guards have to offer that they leave them alive or give them a deal instead of liquidating the assets? This is the weird part. Something is not quite right because, yes, it may be a diversion, and I have no doubt about that. But these are 2 lowly guards. They could erase them. So why would they even waste their time making a deal with them? who cares about the spin article and all of that? Why have these guys even lived this long? Supposedly one of them died in his apartment from COVID-19, wink, wink. So why let these other two live? So there is something here. What is their dead man switch? Because that's the only reason you get a deal is if you have a dead man switch in this type of situation, or if you have someone at justice who likes you. Maybe you did your job right for them. And that's the issue. We're not under the Trump administration Justice Department. We're now under the Biden administration Justice Department. So this,
Well,
whoever is in this Justice Department,
more than likely they facilitated the attack on Epstein, either the attack or the release of Epstein, whichever one it was, right? Because there's speculation flying there. But here's the thing is, does that even really matter? Does it even really matter what they have or don't have or what their involvement is? They are so low on the totem pole that it's inconsequential.
In the macro, it doesn't matter, but it's a Building 7 type situation. Building 7 doesn't line up. It's the loose thread on 9/11, just like these guys are the loose thread on the Epstein disappearance. See, I even picked my word carefully there.
Yeah.
I can appreciate where you're coming from, but I can't even minutely categorize the Epstein guards anywhere even close to the Building 7 situation. I'm sorry. That analogy just kind of was like a jet plane going right over my head.
Thank you.
You kind of answered your own question, and I almost feel like I'm in a cue board at this very moment. No, nothing personal, Stryker.
I do too.
But that is something I would have seen on what was it? Patriot, a cue board, like, and really, it to me, there's no. So what if we know they're compromised? And you kind of answered your own question when you said we're not in a Trump administration, we're in a Biden administration. I mean, yeah, they're going to sweep up loose ends, but really, is what could they possibly? What is it that they could possibly have that would change the course of this ship? I mean, I'm just a little bit lost on that angle. And it's nothing personal. I'm just going, we've long passed that. They lied about it. We know they lied. The two guys pled guilty. They didn't punish them, whatever. They gave them nowhere near what they deserved. And we move on. Because we know in this game of CIA operatives and all the rest of them, people will play dirty. If you come to them and go, hey, we know your house is going to get foreclosed on, and if you do this little favor for us, yeah, you're good. Because I've watched people on I've told Callie this story. I watched the feds kick in the doors of a tribal building one day. 20 federal officers kicking in the doors to a tribal building to arrest the one person who literally didn't count. They siphoned off over $1 million from the federal government, then all got together and said, hey, we're all related, so who among us can take the fall? And the one person that it ended up being was the oldest sister with no children, who 4 years of knitting in a federal facility was not going to make any difference to anybody, and they could all get away with it. So this is how I look at things. Like, they came to him and they said, hey, we can compromise you. And they said, for how much? And they went, yeah, okay. There's nothing mysterious beyond that. Then we already know that our government is compromised. And I think we're going down false rabbit trails on that one. It's like, okay, what do we do? Research it until we try to come up? Because I know people tried to research those people. And did they come up with much? Not really. So I don't know. I just don't think there's really much there. I mean,
If I may, this is the first time I've seen their names released publicly for one. So I have not known their names until now. This was kind of my pet hobby to follow along with. I didn't find out their names until the release of this article.
I'm pretty sure their names were. I'm pretty
Their
sure
names
their names
were all over the
released.
chant boards. Like,
Yeah,
as
they were on
soon
the
as
chat boards.
it happened.
I haven't been on the Chan boards.
That's
in
what I'm
about
saying. It
probably
seems
a year
like
and a half,
everybody's feeding information that should have been fed fucking like, 6, 8, 10 months ago. Like, seriously, I don't understand what's going on right now. I really feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone.
Well, we
this
could
is
all
the
be.
thing. This is the issue that I don't view any of this in a bubble because this is all New York area. They raided Giuliani but left the Hunter laptop behind when it could have snatched that and disposed of it. So this
the
is either
Hunter laptop
intentionally
is
sloppy.
the Hunter
Giuliani still
laptop
has
is
it.
already on Giuliani's devices, all wrapped up with
Yeah.
a pretty little bow.
But the point is the actual device itself, they could have swooped and grabbed that and taken it with them as well. Erased all the copies. They didn't. So
Yeah, well.
why did they leave something behind? That just sounds like either they're being purposely sloppy or we got something going on that we don't know about.
It was
I'm
almost
going
like
to go for the latter.
It was almost like they purposefully said, "Hell no, we don't want to touch that thing."
Yeah,
That's
there'll
the
be
way
a
it was
party to
described.
it. So.
I'm going to
They
go for the latter.
I think that they didn't have, I think that they had a list of, device numbers, right? And those were not on the list, on the warrant. That's what I think.
From what my understanding is, the warrant included everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they say, but I don't think that's what actually happened.
Well,
the warrant can say whatever in the fuck it wants to. That does not mean that an agent or two who are executing the warrant aren't ordered to do something completely different.
And once again, I'll say I go for the latter because we have a very corrupt system. I mean, we've only had George Bush and Barack Obama in control of our government for how many years total? So, yeah, we've got a lot of dirty cleanup to do. Just, it's sort of like today, I heard a little while ago, everybody was so shocked that George Bush is forming like some pro-immigrant group. I'm like, why are you shocked? Because he was pretty pro-illegal alien in Texas when he was busing them in by the hundreds every day. You know, the whole face of Texas changed from speaking Tex-Mex to we no speak of the English at all. So I'm just a little shocked. I'm going with the latter, that it's probably something we don't know that's going on, because that's the way they kind of been running us for the last 12 and 20 years or whatever. I'm just saying, I don't think they're going to just fess up to anything at this point, because they've got so many dirty little irons in the fire, so to speak.
Well, no, they absolutely will not fess up to anything. Go ahead, Sean.
I'm just surprised at the sloppiness, and I'm just again, I'm a lowly Marine communicator, this, and this, and it's like, I wouldn't have ran an operation and left, Giuliani's laptop laying around, or excuse me, Hunter's laptop laying around. I wouldn't have let these two guys, oh yeah, we'll give you a deal if you don't, that's just, it doesn't sound like the usual black ops stuff that you know about, unless these two guards are meant to be used for something later again, because they're actually high value assets, which I don't believe they are. I believe they were just, prison guards who were in the wrong place, wrong time, and were told to shut their mouths.
I think they took a payoff. That's what it was. They took a payoff, and that's it. They took a
Yeah, they're
payoff. They signed an
throwaways.
NDA. That's it. Goodbye.
The
Throwaways.
only thing that could save them is if they were able to route their surveillance footage and have a copy, and as a bonus, some VIP was stupid enough to be there during the Epstein incident. If those two things come together, then that would be a perfect dead man switch for one of them or both of them. I highly doubt that's the case, though. Again, if people are professional, you don't show up. But we do know Donna Brazil and what's her face, Washerman Schultz showed up to the hospital that Seth Rich was at. So who's to say these people aren't as amateurish and stupid as to do a repeat of the Seth Rich incident?
It's true.
So,
They do have a history of sloppiness.
Well,
mhm.
They're
if
getting sloppier and sloppier because they're fucking mocking you.
and
They're
they're
like,
sloppy
look, ha ha
because
ha, I can do this, and
because
there's nothing that you can do about it.
they've gone renegade for years. I mean, I remember listening to stories of ex spy chiefs and shit over in Greece and the Greek island and over in France, and they'd have these hotels, and a lot of those CIA guys were fucking drug addicts. I mean, straight up alcoholics and drug addicts. So there's going to be a lot.
Any cocaine.
You can't get arrested because of who you are. You can kind of do whatever the hell you want to do. What does that produce? I mean, there used to be a time in the US that CIA and FBI was actually who they hired were Mormon kids.
I know.
Because the
Mormon
Mormons
Mafia.
not drink and did not have extramarital relationships, or so they thought. So they figured that they were less compromised. But
And
in
the
the
drug
years
issue was
since,
less.
when they talk about some of these, when you read some of these stories about these spies in these hotels that still exist, and they talk about the decadence in these hotels and the decadent people, like, just look at people like Hunter S. Thompson, and these people are decadent as hell. And eventually that shit catches up with you and you do stupid shit. Yeah, you can run an operation. That doesn't mean it's, and think about it. When an operation is so messed up, it actually works in their favor because logical thinking people go, well, point A to point B. When you go to point A to point F, that just throws everything off balance. And that's how these people think. A lot of them are drug addicts and alcoholics. And they, I mean, even look at Hunter. I mean, how many people could have gone on that long going from China to America and back and forth, being as doped up and drugged out as he was, and still making the money? Why should you stop? So
And
if he's acting that way, you can guarantee the people that we once thought in our little minds about how America should work and in our utopian thinking, we're thinking that they're going to act like freaking adults. These people are not going to act like adults. I used to have a saying when I worked in the federal government, and I got it from one of the gals I worked with. She turned to me and she said, if you don't quit thinking logically, your time in the federal government will be very short. You cannot think logically when it comes to the federal government.
you just gotta follow orders.
Well, hell, by that token, then I'll never be a part of that shit.
No, neither
Yeah.
will I, And like the whole Hunter thing, man, that right there is a huge ball of wax. A huge ball of wax.
I mean, we all know Hillary should have been in jail. We all know that.
Mhm.
We know Comey probably should be in jail. We know that Mueller should be in jail. All these people that obviously brushed off illegal activity to protect the elite. That's all what we're fighting. We're fighting all of the upper
And
crust. in some way, it's
Well, that's
strange because it correlates with the communism. Fight the bourgeoisie. Well, it's them again. They're all causing problems at the top once again.
yeah. And it's time to take them out at their knees.
Well, and I mean, chopping
So
away, you know.
part of that effort, I don't know if you guys are any tech heads or not. If so, send them my way. I'm trying to burn my OG copy I have of Endgame. The Vex, I do have your copy. It's still in its cellophane, so do not fear.
Cool.
Anyway, my OG copy though, I finally got my DVD burner device to detect it. I just am lost in the process because when I go to open it, it has like all the different video files are shown to select from, and then it's telling me I can only select 15 files to burn to YouTube, and I'm just like, no, let me select all at once. So anyway, if anyone who is listening is a tech head and actually knows something about burning DVDs to YouTube, get a hold of me because I want to get this up on my channel, and then we can all quietly on the DLO share the link and get Endgame distributed, and then other people can download it from my channel to their channel or to their home computer, however they need to do it. So that's one thing we got going on. And be it out of the 10 copies I've ordered, I am down to my last 3.
Nice.
So those ones got to be mailed out. But yep, red pilling 7 other people. All different randoms, and I don't mean randoms negatively, but people I've actually, either had voice conversations with, or my next door neighbor, or other different people. So good stuff.
Excellent. As far as your problem goes, it shouldn't be that difficult. Okay, so tell me, are you trying to burn them onto the PC and then send them out?
Originally, I wanted to go from the DVD burner straight into YouTube, but not looking like I'm having any success with that.
No.
And then to go to the desktop, I'm also a little befuddled on how I'm going to pull that off. So this will be something like after the call or whatever, when someone can basically go through it with me step by step. So if that's something that you can do, cool.
Well, I don't claim to be an expert, but from what it sounds like to me is you need to take the DVD or CD, whichever one it is, and put it on your device, and then from your device you can move it to YouTube.
Got it. Yeah, that might be tricky depending on what software I have running my media player, but I can figure that out or download some free software if I need to. What else was hitting? This one you guys will love because we already know the GOP is full of a bunch of rhinos. 35 voted for the commission to investigate January 6th. So 35 rhinos put their name to paper, and they got to be dealt with. So
they're all going to
that
be
in your November. Yes, they are.
Well, the thing is, it doesn't matter what they do. All this is show. It's all flash. It's all pomp and circumstance. It's fucking royalty. Putting on a show for the peasants. Yeah, just in case you don't know, we're the peasants.
Says you.
But it's all a big show.
I'm a superhero, don't you know?
You're alone.
I even own tights.
I went Monty Python. You went Men in Tights.
Yes. And sometimes I go Blazing Saddles or Young Frankenstein, depending on which mood I'm in.
Well, all of it's a show, and it's meant to keep us distracted while they put forth stuff that doesn't really matter to bully us. They're just bullying and bulldozing and everything through. They're not consulting we the people on anything anymore. We're irrelevant. They're just going to do what they will. That's why. Can you guess what's going to happen next? Come on, I know you can.
Oh, yes. I know where we're going with that, but I still want to also hit them in the de facto. I want to basically do 2 punches to them instead of the 1 sometimes, Actually, 3 types of punches, one of them being in the 3D world, but we don't have blood sport as our way of solving politics anymore. It's a shame.
That'd be cool.
I'm getting more towards that whole Andrew Jackson with a hickory cane. It's sounding more and more appealing. But
We
no,
should
we
go
got
back to
to keep
duels.
we got to keep that moral high ground. Dadgummit.
Well, we did
So
have duels back in the day.
we did, but yeah, we can't be
Yeah.
doing that with these putzes and lawyers that are in the Capitol. So yeah, just 35 folks though. People said 2020 was a bad year. I loved it because 2020 we saw all the scumbags reveal themselves, and they haven't stopped. 2021 they're doing more, and now we got Fauci, all of his malfeasance that we already knew about. Those of us who paid attention, but now it's out there for general public. So eventually, general public will wake up and be on our side too. I hope. I still got bus drivers that I was talking to today. They're still like, oh, well, our job commands it. Dude, the CDC said no more masks 2 days ago. Why isn't your job on point? Because the corporations don't want to jump, and get up where the CDC is at. They like the control.
Hey guys, here in a few minutes, I'm gonna say probably about 5. We're gonna switch over and go join Base Prism. I'm throwing the link to Base Prism in the chat.
Ooh.
Just checked on the status of that, and he's waiting on nachos. So
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'll just keep going because I have
We're
them
gonna
up
go raid
on
him.
my screen.
You're gonna go raid
But
his
yeah.
server, his channel.
Yeah, we'll
Be
take
like
all
VEX
my
to
millions
VEX.
and millions of viewers with us.
I don't know. I would think sooner or later. Like I'm surprised. I don't know if you guys are doing this or who did it. Somehow over the last year, I've gone from like 41 or 43 subscribers to 52. I didn't ask for subscribes. Quit adding me. I don't want
the
bad.
I don't want
countdown
YouTube.
has begun.
I don't want YouTube to know I exist.
Too
I'm
late.
supposed to be subversive and sneak things online, not to be followed.
You should change your name to Striker.
Yeah. That or maybe all the searches for Sean or whatever they looked for that. I don't know. But yeah, it's depressing. The bus drive, like the RPD was doing an arrest a couple bus stops over from what I was watching earlier today. RPD wasn't wearing their masks, but the bus driver, the RTA agency, they haven't been told that they're free to go, and breathe the air once again. It's really sad to see like the city is really divided when you think about it at different levels. There's the folks who have companies that are like, this COVID is nonsense. You can take your mask off now. Go play. And other companies are like, no. We must keep our employees swaddled up because we might get a sniffle.
Yeah.
It's depressive again to hear the driver. He was actually kind of arguing for staying under the mask and stuff. And I'm like, you know what? It's not on me, to get you guys as union to activate and defend you guys, because I don't think they're going to do it. But you guys are at the point right now where you can invoke different codes and have your union go fight, the bus system and win
It's
something.
all about the people.
There's
The people need to stand up and do something. But on that note, I'm jumping out of here and over to Base Prism. Betsy, thank you for having me. Striker, it was good talking with you, and I'll see you later, Miss Red Badger.
Thank
Love
you,
y'all.
Kelly, for being
See
there.
you soon.
Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. And we'll just go ahead and draw a conclusion to this, and I'll move over to Base Prism. Link is in the chat. And little closing remarks, guys. Miss Red Badger? Yes? No? Maybe so?
She's muted, it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm cool. Nothing more to say. Peace out. Love you guys.
Right on. Thanks again for coming up and hanging out with me.
Love you, Striker.
Thank you. We'll see you in a second over there at Base. And Vex, I was just going to wrap up that statement when Callie when Callie spoke there for a moment. There's so many right now lawsuits that all these folks who are ambulance chasers, union reps, all these different people out there, if they knew what their powers were, they could be suing the bejeez out of all these corporations and companies. And these corporations and companies are really stupid now that since the CDC said go ahead and open up, even if we don't like them, even if we're, on the conservative side of the aisle and we're saying we should never have been shut down, there is such an opportunity for these companies to be raided and bankrupted. And it's really foolish for them to push this, because there's a lawyer out there somewhere licking his lips, or some other person who claim that wearing that mask gave them the undue hardship. They get that lawyer and boom, they'll take off after Amazon, they'll take off after Target, they'll take off after Microsoft, whatever. And I won't feel bad for them. But that's the thing. These corporations, it's like they're so sloppy, just like the Epstein thing we referenced earlier. They're not watching after themselves. And that's kind of my point.
Corporations need to stay the fuck out of politics, period.
Yes, but our politics are corporations, and both, whether they sell you a package or they sell you a service, they're sloppy is what I'm saying. So they need to clean up like ASAP, and I'm ready to move over to the other channel, Vex. I'll go ahead and listen to your close, and then we'll jump over.
Excellent. All right. Yeah, I'll go ahead and close this up by essentially saying that we've got a long battle ahead of us, and it's going to be full of deception. And unfortunately, it's hard to wade through deception. Wow, I just have a metaphor. Okay, the swamp is of deception. You gotta wade through that to get to the real shit. And unfortunately, we're gonna get dirty during the whole damn thing. So, grab your waders, and I'll see you swamp. On that note, I want to wish you all a good night, and see you all over on Based Prison, and sweet dreams.